Hey everyone. Okay, today we are going to go over the Primary Arms SLx 5x36 Prism Rifle Combat Optic, or RCO, with the ACSS Aurora Reticle. A couple of different kinds of ACSS reticles. I like the Aurora because it doesn't have the ring over the top, and there's going to be an image that's going to pop up right now of what the ACSS Aurora layout in the optic looks like in a diagram. Okay, so looking at that, you kind of get an idea with this optic. So this is a Primary Arms competitor or relative equivalent to a Trigicon ACOG. Okay, it does take battery. It is battery powered for the illumination of your chevron on the ACSS reticle, but it is an etched reticle, so you don't, even if your battery dies or you don't want to use illumination on it, red or green option, and I'll show you that here in a second, it's etched, which I find I end up using most of the time, which is fantastic. Some of the things about it, so covered capped turret for windage, left-right adjustment on the side, elevation is on top. Right in front of that is where battery insert goes, so you unscrew the top of that and it takes the battery. I forget exactly what kind offhand. It's in the specifications. It's at the beginning of this video. And then it's got, as you can see, levels 1 through, I think, 5. Yeah, levels 1 through 5, basically, for illumination intensity of the chevron for the ACSS reticle, both red and green on this side. You can see that green. So, comes with that. Comes with caps. Okay. You see how that's set up, okay? And then Primary Arms uses proprietary mounting. So Torx head screws, but the mount itself is proprietary to Primary Arms, so you cannot easily put a QD releasing mount on here. It has to be a Primary Arms specific one for the for their line of SLx optics. That's really the only downfall to this, in my opinion, is the mounting options, or the lack thereof, the limited mounting options. Other than that, fantastic optic that I've been using for quite a while now. Okay, I've had it for just over a year, and it is a budget ACOG. It is extremely robust. It is very well built. And it holds up, and I really like the sight picture on it. The eye relief is better than an ACOG, okay? My standard cheek weld, you see I'm back here, so, I mean, standard offset is easily 3 or more inches, and I have no problem looking through this optic and putting rounds on target. So those are some of the things with it. It also has top rail, so you can top mount a reflex or red dot on there, and co-witness that. Obviously, height over bore is going to take it into account, but you have that option there too if you don't want to offset anything. Again, I don't really do that because I use modified point shooting for close range stuff. But again, an RCO is my favorite kind of optic, and Brent 0331, it's his favorite kind of optic with the ACOG and things like that. These are our favorite kinds of optics, and I agree. I've used this type of optic more than really any other optic in professional application. So in the military, had an ACOG for 2 of the 4 years I was in the military, in the later half of the military. And then I've used an ACOG and other rifle combat optics in large on other duty rifles for contracting. We use a lot of like holographic sights and stuff too, but I prefer these because you get that range capability as well as being able to engage closer range targets. Normally, I zero an RCO at 100 yards. You can do a 50-yard zero, though, no problem. You will have to adjust with how you use the mill grid and everything for the ACSS reticles when you do a 50-yard instead of a 100-yard zero, because it is optimized for 100-yard zeroing. But again, you can adjust that, you can adapt to that, no problem. I'm going to do the illumination. There's setting 1 for red, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, turn it off. Green, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Considerably bright, isn't it? I don't know. I like the illumination. I like that variety of illumination. So I like that ability there. And the versatility of that illumination. But again, I really don't use the illumination all that much. That etched reticle is what matters, in my opinion, for the most efficacy with using the RCO. It's extremely accurate. So I'm running it on my Ruger SR 556, and I think the last time when I did the SR 556 video, that wasn't painted yet or anything. That I had just gotten it not terribly long before, and was actually taking it out to do some zeroing when I did that range footage. And then took it off, painted it, had to re-zero it. That was very easy. It's very easy to do on this. You just remove the turret caps. I'll show you real quick. Come on. You just remove the turret caps, and then you do your shooting and you do your adjustments. Now, if I remember correctly, the turret adjustments are 0.33 of a mil in adjustment for each one, for each click on this, if I remember correctly. So, not quite as, I'm just getting that tight, not quite as finite, excuse me, not quite as finite as some other scopes and optics out there that are like 0.25, or standard scopes that are usually like 0.1 of a mil. But for a rifle combat optics application, honestly, it's fantastic. Again, very easy to zero, very easy to adjust and get your zero set with those cover turret adjustments. And in the field, if I need to do a re-zeroing, you can use a number of things to do the adjustments with those turrets, to include a P38 can opener, as I've shown before in videos. So overall, this optic is extremely robust, and I saw somewhere someone was complaining about metallurgy or some bullshit. Honestly, doesn't matter. This optic has held up. I've had it out in the woods doing training. I've been pretty hard on it, and I've had no issues. It holds zero, and yeah, it is an excellent budget rifle combat optic, or RCO. So Primary Arms, competitor to the ACOG, and they have several different variants of this. This is the Gen 3, and it's just fantastic. A fantastic prism optic. I don't know what else to really say about it. It is just, you know, you've seen the spec sheets. You know, there's some images and diagrams that I'm putting up here, and yeah, it's just, for the price, I mean, if you're looking for something with some fixed magnification, because it is a fixed 5-power, if you're looking for something with a fixed magnification that's going to provide a better coverage and capability than, say, a micro, or, you know, something that's comparable to an ACOG but at a much lower price point, This is the way to go. It really is. Just a fantastic optic. It really is. I'm very happy with it. And again, I've been using RCOs for a long time, and that's my preferred type of optic. And I'm just very happy with it. It performs very well. And again, very accurate. So the very top of the chevron, the point of the chevron is your 100-yard zero. And on Ruger SLx 5x36, it is a 1 in 9 twist barrel, but it loves the 62 grain GT. This one does in particular anyway, so that's I feed it a lot of that, and it runs beautifully. And very, very, very happy with the RCO overall. And yeah, I guess that's really all I have to say about it. You know, again, spec sheets at the beginning of the video. You've seen some other diagrams as we've gone on here. Yeah, it's fantastic. I'm very happy with it, and I highly recommend it for somebody that's looking for something like an ACOG, but at a more reasonable price. It's held up very well. Again, I've used it out in the woods. It's gotten banged up. It's gotten wet. Like, and it works. It works very, very, very well. No issues. So, very happy with it, and I recommend you go pick one up if that's what you're in the market for. Not a big fan of the combination of magnifier and red dot. I see its purposes, but again, from my world and my experience, I prefer something like an RCO. It's at in between and something that's smaller than an LPVO, yet has excellent capability. Again, we used ACOGs and RCOs all through the GWAT and everything, and they worked extremely well. Definitely got the job done, and this gets the job done too. So it has my horns of approval there. So yeah, go check it out on Primary Arms. I will put a link actually for the optic in the description below. This specific one with the ACSS Aurora Reticle with the Gen 3. Highly recommend it. They have other models. Go check out Primary Arms, but fantastic optic. Highly recommend. Alright, and that's all I'll do. That's all I have to say about that for the day. So, hope you enjoyed. Metal up. Out.